Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a grifter who went viral online over something that I feel like was staged, and not a lot of people are talking about that, but we'll talk about it. And that is Kangmin Lee saying that he got fired, and then subsequently getting a job with Benny Johnson of all people, a guy who got fired from BuzzFeed for plagiarism, by the way. Anyways, I was going to talk about it, like just do a little spiel into the camera, but I see that some people have already made videos, like the Surfs and the Birdman, and I figured, why don't we watch and react to that? I've never made a react video, or at least I've never posted a react video, I don't believe. Or maybe I have, actually. Never mind. Anyways, without further ado, this is from the Birdman. It is TH3 Birdman. So go ahead, give him a like and subscribe to his channel. But first, subscribe to the Tungsten Wire, please. And without further ado, let's get into this and see what if I can give you any decent commentary.
Just desserts. We are gathered here today to laugh at one of the most heinous and bigoted people on the internet losing their source of income. Kangmin Lee, a piece of shit racist, posted a Twitter video announcing his intention to grift on YouTube and other platforms, and I thought it would be funny to watch this video together because this couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Oh yeah, the reason I want to watch this video and not Kangmin Lee's video is because I don't want to give Kangmin Lee a view. Essentially, I'd rather give a view to a fellow, well, not a grifter like Kangmin Lee.
Without any further ado.
Hello everyone, my name is Kangmin Lee, and I was just fired from my job for my conservative beliefs.
Right off the bat, he opens this video with a lie. Lee was not fired for conservative beliefs. Lee was fired because he is a racist and a sexist masquerading as a Christian conservative.
Yeah, that's another thing. When they say that they were fired for their Christian beliefs, not really a thing, or their conservative beliefs, also not really a thing, because when you ask them, hey, what conservative belief were you fired for? Was it lower taxes? Was it smaller government? Was it stronger border? What was it? It's never any of those, is it? It's never any of those. And we're gonna get into what he said that got him fired. I haven't watched this video yet, so maybe he'll get into it. But let me tell you, it wasn't about wanting lower taxes.
I'm aware the Venn diagram is nearly one big circle there, but you know what I mean. Lee is attempting to play the victim in this video, and if you know anything about this 4-foot-tall elf, you know he is full of shit.
This wasn't about my job performance or my relationships with colleagues. It happened because of the things I've said online and the political and religious views I've shared.
Now we're getting closer to the truth. But again, this framing of, I didn't get fired for my performance, is him trying to paint a narrative that he was fired unfairly. The problem, Kangmin, is that as an employee, you represent your company on and off the clock. If you do something they deem inappropriate, you can be fired for that very reason in each of the 3 states you operate in. Being a racist bigot is usually one of the main reasons people get fired while off the clock. I suppose that because you've gotten away with this for so long that you thought you were immune to this, but welcome to the consequences of your actions. Better late than never.
What is it conservatives like? That one acronym, FAFO, F-A-F-O, F around and find out? Well, Kangmin Lee, sounds like you're at the finding out phase, eh?
Right before I was about to head out to work, I got a call from an executive at my workplace, and he opened with this.
The reason for this call is that we've decided to terminate your contract effective immediately.
Okay, so I believe that this is a fake, staged phone call and isn't actually Kangmin Lee getting fired. And there's a couple of reasons. I don't know if Kangmin Lee just decides to record every single phone call he ever takes right from the beginning without knowing what the phone call is going to be about. I doubt that, but maybe he does. And if that's the case, then maybe that's why he's got this phone call. But otherwise, it's kind of weird that he's recording the call, no? Second, for something like this, and they're going to get into it, I've listened to the call. I haven't watched the video, but I've listened to this call. It's something that 99% of companies will pull you into the office with HR and potentially with their legal team sitting there, if they have an in-house legal or paralegal, on staff, sitting in a boardroom or an office, and then they'll have this discussion with you. Not over phone, where you could digitally alter it, where you could cut it up and make it sound like they're bad and you're good type thing. No, they'll generally give it to you in writing, and to your face. But anyways, let's get into it.
Oh.
Beginning today and going forward, you're going to cease all contact with employees, and you are not welcome on our campus.
So they told me I was being removed immediately and not to return. The main reason? Because my posts were dehumanizing and derogatory.
What's with the air quotes, Kangmin? Your words are dehumanizing and derogatory. I mean, are these not your tweets? You've said much, much worse. These
Oh
were
my
all in the
God.
last year.
Oh my God, I've never seen this. American blacks are the only group that embraces the worst of their community and claims it as their culture. Every group rejects the worst of their communities, but American blacks instead make songs about how vain, degenerate, and proudly hateful they are towards others. I know you're Indian, but are you really that illiterate? Jeez, bro. I know you're Indian, but are you... Man, the Indian hatred is getting really out of control. Yeah, not shocked that a troon... I don't know what a troon is. I hope that's not a slur that I just said. Yeah, not shocked that a... whatever that word is, like you, who likes to prey on women in their bathrooms, cannot comprehend being respectful towards women. I think I know what that means. Maybe, I don't know.
So it's clear to us that your commentary invokes language that's derogatory and dehumanizing.
The specific example they kept bringing up is when I called women who celebrated the murder of Charlie Kirk hags and psychopaths. And apparently, that's unacceptable. What else are they? Calling them psychopaths is mild compared to the depraved gloating over the death of an innocent man.
Strange position to take there, Mr. Lee, when Charlie Kirk himself did exactly what you called these people psychopaths for. I mean, Kirk gleefully asked for a hero to bail out Pelosi's assailant.
If some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco or the Bay Area wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out. I bet his bail's like $30,000 or $40,000. Bail him out and then go ask him some questions.
Said clearly that...
Wow. So the Charlie Kirk sycophants aren't going to like this. And this video is not about Charlie Kirk. So I'm not going to talk too much about it. But man, was that man out of touch. It's only $30,000 to $40,000. Yeah.
gun deaths were acceptable as long as his political beliefs were upheld.
But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational.
So clearly you are okay with making fun of someone's death as long as you are the ones doing it. Also, you're leaving out what actually happened. You didn't just call these people hags and psychopaths. You literally stated that women should be a helpmate and to have their right to vote stripped away. That's what you got fired for, you low IQ piece of shit. Blatant.
Ooh. So I'm not familiar with the Birdman, but he goes hard, eh? I know this is unpopular, but after seeing how the vast majority of the demons celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk were women, I've realized that repealing the 19th cannot be a suggestion, but must be a necessity to save civilization. So repealing the 19th Amendment, I think? Women untethered from good masculine authority, oh my god, become the worst hags and psychopaths with their emotions and oh my god. And neuroticism weaponized by destructive purposes because it is not in accordance with their God. Not in accordance with their God-given design to be birthers of life and their husband's helpmate. Oh, dear Lord. Bro, of course you got fired. Like, if this is not a staged phone call, of course you got fired. Bro, what are you talking about? Even if you did believe this, you're a grifter, so I don't know what you believe, but let's say even if you have enough brain power, I am sure to know that you can't be saying this in public. Maybe I don't understand these people. I don't know. Then giving these miserable people political power has been a tragic mistake. Reminder that only 4% of women during the time of suffrage wanted the right to vote. Oh my. Okay, yeah, let's think about it about 100 years ago. What about today? What do they want today? What? Bro.
Misogyny. And I just have to ask, do you not realize that you are a Korean? Meaning that if the government decides to strip away the civil rights of citizens, you would be next? Because aside from being a useful attack dog against other minority groups in this country, racist white people don't like Asians either. That's because despite your best efforts to paint black people,
just like Stop Asian Hate died because everyone learned the blacks were behind most of the violence against Asians, Liberals are silent about the murder of Irina Zarutska because a black man murdered her. Nobody was silent about it. The real thing that happened was Irina's family asked people to stop posting about it, and right-winger people, grifter people like you, oh my god, I forgot what I was trying to say. Right-wing grifters like you, Kangmin Lee, kept posting about it. So if anything, you're the ones who are animals because you didn't listen to the wishes of her family. And the thing is, a black man murdering her isn't even the question. It's not even the topic. What should be the topic is a mentally a man who suffered from mental health episodes was unable to get the help that he needs. Any well-adjusted individual will be able to see that. Doesn't matter what color he was. If he was Asian, if he was brown, if he was black, if he was Christian, Muslim, Jewish, doesn't matter. The fact that he was mentally ill and was unable to get health care in what is supposed to be the powerhouse, the most powerful empire, civilized society in the world, America. The fact that he couldn't get help, that's the issue. But that's not what we're talking about. So let's move on.
As the perpetrators of anti-Asian violence in this country, it was actually racist white people that committed most crimes against Asians during COVID. Can't per capita your way out of this one.
But they didn't care about the context. So what specifically?
Well, how about yesterday when you implied that women shouldn't have the right to vote and that women are hags, miserable people, birthers, and psychopaths?
I didn't call women that.
A blatant lie.
I didn't call women that. Kangmin Lee. Women untethered from good masculine authority become the worst hags and psychopaths. So yes, you did. With their emotions and neuroticism weaponized for destructive purposes because it is not in accordance with their God-given design. With their God-given... this guy.
Let's put an arrow next to each word your employer said you said.
How about yesterday when you implied that women shouldn't have the right to vote and that women are hags, miserable people, birthers, and psychopaths?
I didn't call women that.
Looks like you said every single one of those things. Aren't you supposed to be a Christian? Isn't not lying like one of the 10 Commandments? Why is it that people that call themselves Christians don't seem to actually follow the Bible and are some of the worst people imaginable?
Yes, you did. It's very clear. We have evidence of it.
Yeah, you can pull it up. I said that liberal women who dehumanize people and celebrate that.
You did not say liberal women. You did not say liberal women.
The context is...
There's no context. Your language...
Do you mind if I can...
I'm going to finish.
Shout out to whoever Lee's boss was. Normally when these kinds of things happen, the employer speaks in HR speak and lets the recently fired get away with saying nonsense. Lee just tried to say he said liberal women. He didn't, and that there was more context to his tweet. There wasn't. This is the kind of person we need in charge of a workplace, one that will protect their employees very strongly and not let people like this get away with murder. Kudos to him.
Your language is dehumanizing. You target every kind of identity that's represented. I'm embarrassed that we're just realizing it.
So the context behind that is the thousands upon thousands of videos and tweets and posts of people who were celebrating the assassination of a husband and a father 2 weeks ago. So the context is the sheer number. It was like 80 to 20, 90 to 10. The majority of people...
Where is he getting these numbers from? These are just numbers he's coming up with? The majority of people celebrating his assassination, someone murdered in cold blood, were women. I would love to see the stats, Mr. Kangmin Lee. Do you have kangminlee.com/stats to use as your source? Because I don't know. First of all, most people were not celebrating. They were talking about how horrific it was, and then they didn't want to eulogize the guy. That's it, right? I don't know, man. That's crazy. I still think... I'm sorry. It's still like it smells like someone's making tuna salad in here because this is fishy. This is fishy. That he was recording it, and I don't know, man. I feel like he went on Fiverr and hired a voice actor to play the part of the boss. Because I don't know. I feel like if this was real, he would be blasting the company name everywhere. He would be blasting it everywhere. Anyways, let's keep watching.
Celebrating his assassination, someone murdered in cold blood were a woman.
Even if that were true, it's not. You think that provides context for you saying women shouldn't have the ability to vote? This guy's a moron. And let's not forget, Kangmin himself uses the death of a father as a punchline, so he's getting mad at people doing something he does himself. You can't make this shit up.
Now, these are women who are untethered to their family. They don't have good family lives, right? They have abandoned their families.
It's incredible.
How do you know this? How do you know how their family life is? I don't. Half of Twitter is anonymous. How do you even know they're women?
That he's publicly playing this recording as if it's making him look better. First of all, he's claiming to know that thousands of women on social media don't have children and have abandoned their families. Mind you, this guy is an incel. He couldn't have a family if he wanted to, but he somehow has magical powers and knows the identities of thousands of women on social media. Unbelievably embarrassing.
And they don't have children.
So you don't know that. You don't know that.
Okay, sir. So this is, sir,
suggest that the answer is to
am I allowed to finish, or are you going to keep
vote?
white-splaining to me?
And the anti-woke.
Are you going to keep white-splaining to me? I can't believe this guy is trying to play this type of politics now. I'm so tired of people who cause problems that then act like the victim. Man, this is a well-researched video. I could never do something like this. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Like, are you going to white-splain it to me? Come on, man. As a person of color who has been white-splained to in a sense, that wasn't white-splaining. It was just if he's white, it's just a white dude talking to you. Yeah. Anyways, who's a snowflake now?
Right-wing bigot immediately resorts to the tactics of those he whines about on Twitter. You cannot make this stuff up. I'm honestly flabbergasted that he's embarrassing himself like this. He's just showing himself to be a hypocrite, whining about racism when he's a wannabe Klan member. And calling this white-splaining is insane to me, given all his employer said was that he doesn't know the life circumstances of thousands of women on Twitter, which is an objective fact. This is the funniest phone call I've ever heard, and I've listened to the entirety of the "Why did you redeem it" call.
We can be done with the conversation. You are no longer permitted on this campus. You are effectively terminated immediately from your employment.
I asked for another example, and he accused me of saying that fat people shouldn't exist. What?
I wonder why anyone would come to the conclusion that you dislike certain people.
You clearly believe that fat people shouldn't exist.
What?
Correct?
I have never said that. I've never said that fat people should never exist. This is your emotion speaking.
He did not say you said that. He said you clearly believe that. I mean, dude, if you're going to post literal evidence of someone not saying what you say they said, wait, don't do that. You're only making yourself look bad. It's very clear that you have a problem with fat people. Dude, there's basically a tweet of you doing, saying, or implying everything you say you don't do, say, or imply. These are not conservative beliefs. These are you being a spiteful, hateful little piece of garbage.
If you're able to at least use your fat piece of reason.
We have a file full of odious things you've said.
Odious, like what else? What else?
Any one of which would be eligible. We would escort them out of the building. My only regret is that we've just discovered this at this point, and that's on this institution.
Okay, so I don't understand what beliefs that I hold, because I don't dehumanize women. I have talked many times on my platform about how women are incredible, that their telos, which means design in Greek, is to birth life.
This man's IQ is so low, it's almost as tall as he is. How is it that you don't understand what you just said is dehumanizing, Lee?
All women are good for is giving birth. That's that. And then he's like, I'm not dehumanizing them. The women. Yeah. I don't know, man. Let's keep watching. I'm starting to get speechless at how, like, I guess I didn't listen to the whole call because it's just getting worse and worse.
It's apparent that you don't know what the word dehumanize means, so let's put it on the screen. As you can see, to dehumanize in this context is to demean a person's individuality. If a woman doesn't want to be a birther, you think they are not fulfilling some arbitrary purpose, which would also automatically dehumanize infertile women. You also very clearly stated women should have their right to vote stripped away, which would further disenfranchise them by removing their ability to express their individuality in the democratic process.
And that's a very important role in civilization. I've said that multiple times. I said they're empathetic, they're compassionate, they're great nurturers and caregivers. That's what I've said. I've also said that men need to step up. I've never said that men are better than women or women are better than men. I've never said that fat people should never exist. That's absurd. All I've said is that they should take care of their bodies and that they should steward the bodies that God has given them, right? So
I'm not interested in this debate.
And you see, no matter how much I try to reason, this is how liberals think. They don't value diversity of thought or the free marketplace of ideas.
Holy irony, Bat.
Okay, first of all, you want everyone that said anything bad about Charlie Kirk canceled. Anyone who quoted Charlie Kirk, we want them canceled because it makes Charlie Kirk look bad, even though they're Charlie Kirk's words. And now you've got the audacity to say that these people have no respect for the free market of ideas or whatever the hell you said. Brother, they don't need to do that. All they need is for you to be professional and do something that doesn't hurt, that could potentially hurt the image of their company. Any other company would have done the same thing. Also, you're calling him a liberal. We don't know that he's liberal. We don't even know if this guy's, well, what this political leanings of this guy is. The boss, that is. You're just calling him a liberal because you know that's going to go well for Benny Johnson's fan base. I still think this call is staged, by the way.
Man, how is it that in one breath you claim liberals don't believe in the marketplace of ideas, but in the next get upset that people exercise their freedom?
By the way, I should stop pausing it and adding my own thoughts, because as soon as I start hitting play, the guy says it in a much better way than I can ever articulate it.
Of speech by laughing at the death of Charlie Kirk. Besides the fact that you literally do this yourself, that's what the marketplace of ideas looks like, you flaming hypocrite. It's not just pointing and laughing at the left. It's also pointing and laughing at the right. You bitches are the snowflakes now, crying when people do to you what you've been doing to them for years. You unironically use the term white-splaining for fuck's sake. You love white dick. Why are you complaining now that you're the one taking the back shots? Besides, this is literally you celebrating people being fired from their jobs for expressing their freedom of speech, meaning you should also be laughing at yourself right now. I'm telling you, there's literally a tweet from this guy for everything.
They will fire you, destroy your life, and in extreme cases, like we saw with Charlie Kirk, kill you and dance on your grave. If you
Nobody's dancing on his grave. You know what? That's not true. Nobody's physically dancing on his grave, but people are acting, making a circus of his death. And that would be the TPUSA funeral that they had, where his wife walked out into sparklers and stuff, and they were selling merch. I'll make another video about that. We won't talk about that. But, hey man, FAFO, right? F around, find out.
dare hold any right-wing opinions. To be an open conservative today in America still means to be a social pariah. Companies and
No, man. Most conservatives don't think like you. Most conservatives saw that Charlie Kirk memorial and were like, thought it was distasteful. Most Christians I know didn't like it. You guys are far right. You guys are fascists, Nazis. That's who you support. You guys are in a cult, the mega cult.
institutions will punish you without question.
That's because your beliefs have no place in civil society. You openly advocate for the subjugation of 50% of the population. You are a flaming racist. You think the colonization and conquest of people is okay, except when those people being conquered are white people. You are obsessed with black people, and you refer to trans people as troons. I wouldn't want you at my place of business either, and I think any job you land in the future should be made aware of your positions on these things. They have a right to know what kind of person they are employing. Your inherent biases will affect how you interact with your colleagues and potential customers.
But I believe in speaking honestly about my values. I try to be respectful while also being direct.
Ah, yes. Look at this very respectful tweet.
Of course, I tend to be sarcastic and incorporate humor in my posts, but apparently that's become grounds for dismissal. I don't
What humor, bro? Humor is funny. Humor is funny. But remember, you're upset about people firing you over your humor, but you wanted people getting fired because they joked about a fascist getting shot in the neck. I don't think it's tasteful to make those jokes, but you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, yo, they're firing me because of my beliefs, which aren't conservative beliefs, by the way. You're not talking about lower tax and whatnot. You're talking about dehumanizing and taking away the rights of half the population of your country. I make some jokes, some edgy jokes, and I'm getting fired. That's infringing on my free speech rights, or whatever it is you want to argue. But then on the flip side, you want all the people who made tasteless jokes, edgy jokes about a fascist being shot in the neck, you want them fired. And I'll agree with you. I don't think it was right to make those jokes. I'll agree with you. I think they're tasteless. But you can't have it both ways. You can't say that they need to be fired and then pretend like you getting fired, which again, I don't think is real. I don't know, man. Hypocrite.
I think being conservative or having strong religious Christian convictions should cost someone their livelihood.
But you do think opposing positions to yours should cost someone theirs. So why are we supposed to feel sympathy for you again? You think being a Christian makes you special and that you should get to say the heinous shit you do without repercussion? No, it's fuck around and find out time, dipshit. You said it yourself. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences.
It is possible for someone to hold beliefs that you disagree with and that person not be a crazy, hateful person.
Oh, I agree. Unfortunately, that doesn't apply to you because you are a hateful, crazy person. This is what grifting looks like, people. Blatant lying and hypocrisy because he's panicking and needs to fleece people of their money. So he LARPs as an innocent Christian, being persecuted for his Christian beliefs instead of being fired for saying women shouldn't have the right to vote. Like, think about that for a second. He's saying he doesn't value a woman's opinion, so...
There's a give, send, go link. Oh, it is becoming very apparent to me. You know, I think someone's making tuna salad because it's smelling fishy.
How could he ever work with women at a workplace? His positions necessitate not valuing his own colleagues' input. And even worse, what if he has a female boss? He clearly stated women shouldn't be in positions of power. This nut shouldn't be at anyone's company.
I just wish that they at least tried to have a conversation with me before viewing me and firing me as a derogatory, dehumanizing bigot. They don't even know what it is that I believe, but as you can see, they chose to take things out of context to create a fake version of me.
No, they didn't take it out of context. The tweet wasn't taken out of context. They repeated exactly what you said. Man, these Charlie Kirk sycophants love to play the out of context card when you're just, rehashing the tweet. You're reading the tweet, right? They go, Charlie Kirk, you're taking that stuff out of context. This guy's going, you taking my tweet out of context. Why? Did you tweet it out of context? Because we're just reading it in the context that you tweeted it.
Dude, you have years of hateful, spiteful, bigoted posts on social media. Your boss literally said they have a file of things you said. Are you arguing that the things you publicly post aren't really what you actually believe? That ought to concern your bigoted followers because they're taking you at your word. In any case, you're lying one way or the other.
Because having a conversation and trying to reach a place of understanding is hard. And it's easy, instead, to dismiss and fire someone who disagrees with you as a racist, xenophobic, misogynistic, transphobic, homophobic, everyphobic monster. They chose to treat me like some violent terrorist that's not allowed on their property or to contact any of their employees anymore. They're more angry with me calling out garbage behavior than the garbage behavior itself.
This is why you're not welcome, Mr. Lee. You are not taking responsibility for your own actions. You don't see why what you do is...
But also, they did call out the garbage actions. They called out your garbage actions and they fired you.
wrong, and that shows you are not mature enough to work for someone's company. You are a child with a victim's mentality, which is ironic because you say exactly that about black people every other week. You lie and pretend that you're not who we all know you to be. You're asking for a conversation with people that you denigrate and shit on. You're not owed a conversation. You were an employee. That means you do what is asked of you. You assume that because you have a lot of bigots that follow you on Twitter that you were hot shit, until hot shit actually showed up and told you to get the fuck off the premises. Now you're begging for people to save you because you couldn't be normal. You can't call out garbage behavior while being a garbage person.
They're more angry at me calling people celebrating Charlie's assassination hags and psychopaths than they were at the very demons who celebrated Charlie's assassination.
This attempt at grifting is pathetic. Once again, your boss pointed out multiple things you said as the reason for your firing. You didn't just call people hags. You said women shouldn't have the ability to vote, you fucking clown. You are also guilty of making light of someone's death, dipshit, and you yourself believe that people who do that should be fired. So why are you upset? You ordered this meal, now eat it.
So what now? Well, I know some of you have noticed that I've been absent from making videos and content for almost 2 years now, and that's true, and I sincerely apologize for my absence.
Let's cut the shit. You stopped posting on YouTube because nobody was watching the trash you produced. You're not sorry for not uploading. You have 6 videos in 4 years. What you meant to say was, I failed at grifting the first time, please give me another chance. At least that would be honest, Christian.
I would post on X in my free time from time to time, but I wanted to live a more normal life for a while off the internet. I was struggling financially and I tried to make money in other ways by working other jobs. I also spent time in counseling, trying to get right with God, because I realized I had been living a life of sin as a hypocrite while publicly espousing Christian.
Oh, God. And here comes the grift. Man. I mean, I talk openly about my faith. But man, I don't know, man. It's just so... Ugh. This guy. Ugh.
Conservative values. I even tried pivoting into other career paths to see if that's where God was leading me, but it seems God had other plans. I believe God is using this to push me into what I was already being prepared for: full-time content creation and public speaking. Sharing truth, building a community that isn't afraid to stand firm. If you remember 4 years ago, this is actually the second time I've been fired from my job for my social media posts.
And apparently he hasn't learned his lesson yet, like the problem child that he is. Well, unfortunately, this is my realm, Mr. Lee. You've been ducking the smoke with me ever since I pulled your card last year, but now you've decided to try grifting on my platform. Well, guess what? That means your ass is grass, because I will be sticking my size 12 so far up your ass, you're gonna be spitting up Jordan logos until you inevitably get demonetized on this platform. So, be seeing you.
You guys gotta... I'm a fan of this guy. I'm a fan now. That was a great video. Well researched. I would not have done that much research about it. I would just rent it into a camera. But Well, I didn't know this guy does not like black people. Wow, he is a racist. Um, and there were a lot of tweets. You guys can go and find them, I guess. But I'm going to tell you why I think this is a fishy scenario. I think he was either going to get fired because, or lose his job for another reason, you know? Maybe he didn't even get fired, you know? But he wanted to make that pivot to content creation and do it full time, make some money. And so he needed to go viral. He needed a cause that people would rally behind. And nothing gets the right wing Christo fascist crowd drooling at the bit more than cancel culture, whether they're canceling someone or one of them gets canceled. So I think he staged a phone call. I think he staged a phone call with someone he claims is his boss, but isn't actually his boss, who did a very convincing job, I might add. Because who answers the phone while recording the phone call? I'm not saying you don't always, record a phone call. Maybe you're calling, a billing company about something and you want to record it just so that if they tell you you're going to get a credit, you have it on record that you're going to get your credit or whatever, But this one is fishy. This one's fishy because did he have any indication that his tweets were going to get him fired? Right? That he would just start recording a phone call with his boss? Another thing. For situations like this, especially when it comes to online use and stuff, and I know this because I've dealt with this in my professional life, a situation like this. I didn't get fired, mind you. They generally will pull you into the office with a HR representative, and if they have on-site legal representative, a legal representative, and they will talk to you face to face, and they might have you sign some paperwork, right? They don't generally, especially in the digital age, like to send or fire you on campus, on the phone without they don't like to fire you on the phone because you're able to, again, like edit it in a way to make it sound like you're the victim. You didn't even do that. Kangmin Lee didn't even make himself sound like the victim. He just seems to have posted something that makes him look even worse. So maybe it is true, actually. But I don't know. Here's the thing. He probably has personal belongings at a desk or whatever there as well. So generally, they'll want him to be on campus when they fire him so they can have him pack a box of his stuff and security escorts him out. And they're calling, we don't want to see you on the campus. So it's probably a bigger company. Second, or whatever, I don't know how many points I've made right now. Another thing, they would be plastering the company name everywhere on social media trying to cancel it. You know what I mean? If it was a company like HP or Dell or Google, they would be plastering it everywhere. But they're not, because I think he didn't actually get fired from a job. I think he's grifting. Anyways, and the fact that he is putting Give Send Go or whatever, one of that right wing crowdfunding thing that the lady who said the N-word to a 5-year-old raised almost $1 million on. The fact that he's doing one of those campaigns tells me it's a grift. And then, by the way, he got a job. He got a job with Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson gave him a job. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Benny Johnson was in on this. If Benny Johnson's like, hey man, I want to hire you for content creation, which is something he wants to do, evidently. But we need to drum up interest. How are we going to do that? We need a cause to get these Neanderthals who follow us, get their knuckle-dragging loser behinds behind us. How do we do that? Oh, we pretend you got canceled. For a second time. He already tried this grift once. Or maybe the first time he did get fired and he realized, hey man, I got a kind of good following from the first firing. Maybe I'll restage a firing. Another thing, let's say this firing was real. You got fired twice for your conservative beliefs. Maybe the problem is you. Anyways, I could rant about this all day. How long has this video been? Oh my god. Okay, I am going to end it. Thank you so much for watching. The Birdman did a much better job than I ever could have. So please go over and subscribe to him, and then come back and subscribe to me. And if you want to read articles instead of watching some weirdo sit in his home office and rant into a microphone, you can read my writing at tungstenwire.com. And if you subscribe, that'd be great. It's free. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. We've stopped posting on TikTok because, well, we'll make another video about that. Peace be upon you.